Hi my friends, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Ruby and welcome. Today I will be talking to you about how to get straight A's, or as I have, straight A's with very few B's in my time since I've been in not only community college but also in university. And for some of you who have been here for a while, you probably know that I'm currently finishing up my last semester, and you may be wondering,
then why are you making a video on this if you still haven't completed technically straight A's or even like a few B's?
Well, I will tell you. I'm just taking 2 classes a semester and I already took my first exams and I've been doing all my assignments and I've been getting straight A's. So I feel pretty confident that this semester is going to end with A's. And so I thought it would be a great video to share with you guys my tips and tricks on how you can get straight A's or very few B's, because I've never gotten anything below a B. Majority has been like A's. You can say between like maybe 90-95% of my grades have been A's and the rest have been B's. And yeah, if you're interested in how to have a successful college, university career, then keep on watching. So I'm going to be using my phone because I have a list right here of all my tips and tricks. So number 1, don't overload yourself. So I always say, and this is something I would do myself, is take on the number of units and classes that you know you can handle. So if you know you're working a part-time job and you really can't handle taking 18 units, then please do not set yourself up for failure by signing up for 18 units, because you really have to pace yourself. Unless you really know that you can take that many units and handle a part-time job or 3, then by all means do all those units. But if you know you're someone who tends to get easily overwhelmed, then please pace yourself, because in the long run it's better to pace yourself than overload yourself and possibly make yourself sick by taking on more than you can handle. So yes, plan out how many units you're going to take per semester. Number 2, plan out your day. Really write out the exact schedule you have per day, so you know like the outline of what you expect your day to look like with regards to your classes and any time gaps you may have, because number 3, time gaps are your best friend. So when I started community college, I just wanted classes back to back so I wouldn't have any breaks, because I was like, time wasted, don't want to do this. But actually, time gaps can be your best friend, because I have found in these last years, I have had many days where I've had like time gaps, and they have served me so well, because those are the times when I have reviewed like some of my language stuff, or I've gone to a practice room to practice piano or work on music for singing, or just like assignments for other classes. Like literally, time gaps are your best friends. So do not feel afraid of having time gaps, because they can really serve you if you really have the self-discipline in using that time wisely. Number 4, do not underestimate Discord. When I first started, like sometimes people would send emails for Discord and I was like, oh, what am I going to use that for? Like, I don't really want to like be in these like communities. But actually, Discord can be really helpful, because sometimes there may be things that you don't quite understand, and if you send the question, someone else may be able to help with that. So you're in a group with people that you may not necessarily know, but you guys are helping each other with the same goal of succeeding in a particular class. So don't underestimate it. Discord can really come in handy. Number 5, commuting can be your best friend. And the reason I say this is, especially if you're a language learner, you can use that time to listen to things in your target language. Like for me, a lot of the time when I would commute, because this semester I'm only commuting like once, sometimes twice a week to university, but during that time, I tend to listen to podcasts in my target language. So things like in French or German or whatever it is that I feel like listening to. If there's a test or studying for, you could even record yourself like particular questions that may show up and answers, and just like listen to that. And it can be really helpful. But for me personally, I just use that time to listen to things in my target languages. So commuting, take advantage. Number 6, write down due dates and plan accordingly. Because when you know the due dates for certain things, you know if you have more time to actually like execute those assignments at a later date. Whereas if you have other assignments that are coming up, like their due dates are coming up, then it's like, okay, I'm going to place more of my focus towards these assignments right now because they're coming up. Whereas this assignment, I have a little more time, so I'm going to leave this for after I'm done with these assignments. Number 7, break down these assignments into smaller parts. So for example, something that one of my instructors had us do for the class, because we had to write like a research paper, was that every few weeks we would have to turn in some part of our paper. So for example, we needed about 5 sources to use for our research paper, but every, I want to say maybe week or 2 weeks, we would have to write like a summary of an article that we found for our particular topic. And that was super helpful. It's very smart because as opposed to pressuring yourself to have to do it all in one day, if you break it down into little pieces, you start like gathering this information, and it's like, yeah, it's like little steps, but then once like you put it all together, it's like you see that you've taken all these steps that now help you complete the overall objective of an assignment. And I found that to be very cool because I did have this experience where like I had a research paper that I just did not really do until almost last minute, like the week before. Still ended up getting an A, but it was pretty stressful. So instead of leaving yourself, like putting yourself in that situation, I think taking these smaller steps are it's definitely a lot better, and it's setting yourself up for success. And then like you don't have to deal with these like last minute stresses of having to do everything quickly, because like pressure gets real and like time flies by quick, and when you least expect it, it's like 2 days till the due date, and it's like Number 8, make flashcards. So whether that's with the Anki app or physical flashcards, I find that making flashcards can be very helpful, especially for me. I really love writing things because I feel like the writing of it really helps like further internalize what it is that you're learning. And there has been scientific studies that prove that writing has more of an effect of with processing information as opposed to typing it. But of course, everyone's different. It doesn't mean that even if you type things you don't learn. You can still learn, but making flashcards is super helpful. And my final tip, the most important tip, is give yourself breaks. So don't overwhelm yourself with having to do everything in one single day. Like we only have 24 hours in a day and there's so much we can do. However, you also want to give yourself time to relax, give your brain a break, because honestly, I've been in those circumstances where I do too much to the point that I just get headaches, and I'm like, okay, this is like my body telling me that I need to rest right now. And definitely give yourself grace. There may be days when you literally just have no energy whatsoever to really do anything. I've definitely taken a day or two where I just don't do any assignments because I'm like, this is too much. And then like I just come back stronger and better. And I think it's also good in general to have boundaries with yourself. So during these particular hours of the day, you'll be working on something, but after 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock, no more assignments. You're just gonna use that time to rest, do self-care, Netflix and chill, like whatever it is that you want to do. I know sometimes a lot of assignments do pile up, especially if you're taking 18 units, and sometimes you kind of have to push yourself to do more than what is required of you, which is why I do say that it is important to pace yourself, because you definitely don't want to push yourself to a point that you do make yourself sick, because I do know people that have been placed in that circumstance where they've taken on too much and they've literally made themselves sick. So my advice, general advice, is pace yourself and take these small steps that can help you, that can help set you up for success. And remember not to compare your journey to someone else's, because we all have different capabilities, and just because you can't do what someone else can do doesn't mean that you're not good enough or that you're not capable. It just means that you're different, and that's not a bad thing. And if you're doing something, that's still amazing. That still makes you a success, at least in my world. And that's something I also do have to remind myself of, because comparison, it is a thief of joy, and it's easy to fall into that trap of wanting to do more, having to do more because of this hustle culture. But you have to do what's right for you. And I also just want to say that getting an A, it does not define you. Although I tell myself this too, but then when I say like a B, it's like, but it's like it doesn't define. Like at the end of the day, that really does not define you or your self worth or your capabilities. Because literally, like you can be a smart person, but if you don't do any of the work for a class, you're gonna fail it. But it doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you're lazy or that you just didn't feel like doing it, and that does not define you. Or just because you memorize answers for a test doesn't mean that you necessarily know the content, like you actually know it. It just means you memorize it for the purpose of attaining a certain outcome in something. But then once the class is over, it's like you forget. So it's like, is that really learning? You know what I mean? So don't base your worth or your level of intelligence based on a certain grade that someone gives you. You know, like it's just based on what it is you put out for that particular class. So don't take it personally, don't take it to heart. You're capable, you're smart, grades don't define you. But if you do want to get straight A's, these are the tips and tricks I use in being able to achieve that. Let me know what tips and tricks you guys are currently using to get good grades that can maybe be of service to other students who are also working on getting good grades in the comments below. And let me know what classes you guys are taking this semester. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found value in it, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos each week. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.